Hi everyone, hope you are doing well from wherever you are watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, 2 days ago, William Samoei Ruto came out and said that, and I quote him, "If calling Raila Amolo Odinga my brother is what will make him stop to go to demonstration, then I will call him my brother. I will even call him my dear brother so that he don't go to demonstration." That was William Samoei Ruto. And after that, yesterday, Professor Mutahi Ngunyi reacted to that. And this is what Mutahi Ngunyi is saying. "Dear Ruto, you seem vulnerable. That is why you are calling Raila dear brother. And to be vulnerable in politics is to be seductive. The root word for vulnerable is Latin word vulnus, or wound. If you keep the wound fresh, you will make Baba man look like a bully. Good strategy." Now that is Mutahi Ngunyi. The truth is that from the time Ruto said that he will call Raila Odinga my brother, from that time up to now, I have not heard Ruto using such kind of word he has been using on Raila Amolo Odinga to please those who are close to him. I mean political allies. Because when Ruto referred to Raila Amolo Odinga as mganga, mtu wa kitendawili, mzee wa maandamano, those who are around him are always happy. Something that many Kenyans as of now are not happy about. The question is Ruto, between Ruto and Raila Odinga, right now, who is looking vulnerable? Is it William Samoei Ruto or Raila Amolo Odinga? Because the truth again is that when you are vulnerable, you easily attract sympathy. So in other words, what I'm asking here, between William Samoei Ruto and Raila Amolo Odinga, who is attracting sympathy? Before we go deep into that, just a quick request for those who are watching and you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. To the returning subscribers, I must say thank you so much. And again, to all our viewers, please give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much. And back to this discussion. Now, again, going back to William Ruto's remarks. Ruto, if you listen to him, the tone and the word he's using on Raila Odinga, to some extent to me, it looked like sarcasm. It's sounding ironic. Because you look on Ruto, it looked like a man who is trying to make comedy in a political statement. That to me, he was not that much serious. And even we had analyzed here earlier, and many people agree with me through the comment section. They were clear that Ruto looked like he's just playing comedy on serious matters. So from there, though Ruto went silent, still people do not trust what Ruto said. That means from anything that is coming from William Ruto up to now, many people who support Raila and who feel that Ruto is doing wrong still believe that Ruto is playing comedy. They don't see William Ruto who is serious up to that level. Now, for Ruto to look like he's being bullied by Raila Amolo Odinga, what should we be witnessing as of now in Kenyan politics? It is very simple. For Ruto to look bully like what Mutahi Ngunyi is saying here is that if Raila has asked for 3 things, cost of living, IBC, and server, then Ruto goes ahead and deliver what Raila has requested for. And Raila continue to fight William Ruto. That then it will look like Raila is bullied through William Samoei Ruto. So in my view, the person who is bullied up to now, it is still William Samoei Ruto. How? Number 1, when Raila called for mass action, what happened? The police officers were instructed to go and tear gas Raila Amolo Odinga. So Raila was a victim of tear gas. That alone make Raila to look vulnerable. And because of that, up to now, Raila has attracted sympathy, saying that Kenyans are feeling that Raila should not associate himself with someone who is bullying him. So the man who has sympathy up to date is Raila Odinga. That can be explained even from the latest activity that happened in Murang'a, that's Mount Kenya region, a place where Ruto believed to have got huge number of votes, a place where Ruto has members of parliament, governor, senator, and MCS. But they welcomed Raila Amolo Odinga in a very amazing way. They are now saying that Ruto must open the server. Number two, when Raila called for mass action, Kenyans joined him to demonstrate. When they were demonstrating, Ruto ordered police officers to tear gas peaceful, hungry demonstrators. So Kenyans have become vulnerable. Ruto is being viewed as a bully, someone who is bullying Kenyans. So apart from bullying Raila Odinga, Ruto is bullying Kenyans, and is bullying Kenyans in many ways. Number one, hiyo ya kurusha tear gas. So Kenyans are vulnerable in the hands of William Samoei Ruto. Number two, when they say that Ruto must make food cheap, and cheap means available at affordable price. Up to now, we don't have food, so Kenyans are hungry. Because they are hungry, up to now, Ruto is being seen as someone who is bullying Kenyans by making them hungry because he's overtaxing food products. When you overtax, then people cannot afford, they become vulnerable. So Kenyans have become vulnerable in the hands of William Ruto. Because of that, it is now attracting a reaction from Kenyans. And because of hunger, people are getting angry. And when they get angry, that's why they're saying that we will not entertain William Ruto and he must go. Ruto must go. That's what is now in the demonstration. Now, come back to the issue of Raila Odinga. Did Ruto open the server? The answer is no. If Ruto could have opened the server up to now, then it turned out that he won an election. Up to there, people will view Raila Odinga as a bully. He will be seen as a person who has pushed William Ruto to the wall. And yet it turned out that Ruto won the election. So the question is that, will William Samoei Ruto open the server? If Ruto will open the server, and then they allow forensic audit to know who won the election, then from there, Ruto will be seen as a vulnerable person. Lakini kama hatafungua server up to now, the man who is still seemingly seen as vulnerable, it is Raila Amolo Odinga. And of course, I have told you, once you are seen vulnerable, being bullied by your opponent, in politics, you will always attract sympathy. That explains the reason why Raila has super massive support across the country as of now. Everyone want to associate themselves with Raila Odinga. Those who are associating William Samoei Ruto, they are going there because of personal benefit in terms of monetary. Hao ndio wanaenda kwa Ruto. But the other Kenyans are now moving towards Raila, and in politics it's always like that. When you have been seen as vulnerable, or if you can play into the politics of victim, so that you become a victim, you have been victimized, it is always easy to attract sympathy. That is the truth of the matter. Now, we are talking about the IBC. Ruto decided to go further and constitute a body that will be looking into matter of instituting the new IBC. He never involved Azimio la Umoja. So Raila said, you must stop that process with immediate effect, and then we start afresh, involve Azimio and Kenya Kwanza in hiring of the new IBC, because you can't appoint the referee in a game that you're going to be a player. Up to now, it's not yet. But we know that is the only thing that Ruto might submit to. So that Azimio will give half, Ruto give another half. So as long as it's not yet done, still is subject to discuss. But in the 3 matters that Raila has asked him to do, he has only submitted to one, IEBC. The rest is still a subject for discussion. So up to that level, as of late, Kenyans are asking Raila to stop going into that bipartisan dialogue. The question is, why are Kenyans not comfortable with the bipartisan dialogue? Reality will be clear that Ruto seems to be a man who don't mean his word. His word cannot be his bond. Trust in William Ruto is questionable. And that's why you see people are viewing every statement that comes from William Ruto as sarcasm. It's iron. So people are not ready to entertain comedy on serious matters that is touching people's life in terms of food, affordability, life, job opportunities, a government that works for the people. This government seemingly is working for shareholders, but not the people. Because of that, Kenyans have refused to associate themselves with a company that is working for shareholders where the interests cannot be taken care of. Up to that level, Raila Odinga still attracts sympathy. I don't know your views, but let us meet in the comment section for continuation of this conversation. Thank you and see you in our next video.